welcome back to our challenge, our 10 by 10 challenge. This is our final video for you for this June 10 minutes a day of mindful movement, mindfulness. So this last video is about inversions. So we're going to have a little bit of a challenge and a play with some inversions, and we're going to leave you with some things to go off and play around with. So we're going to begin on our knees. So we're just going to come forward into a tabletop position. We're going to take some cat-cows. We're just going to begin by just easing through the spine, moving through the body. So inhale, lifting the chest forward, opening up. Exhale, leading from the base of the spine, curving that spine up. Good. Pressing that upper back, lifting it up towards the sky. Release the head. Good. Inhale, open up, chest forward. Nice. And then exhale again, moving from the base of the spine through the body, top of the back, lifting up towards the sky. Inhale, taking it back through the spine, opening up the chest, shining the heart space forward. Exhale, sending it the other way. And just take a few more of these in your own time, connecting with your breath pattern today, noticing where your breath's at, noticing how the body's feeling. And just using the breath to ease through any kinks and tension that might be in the body. And yeah, you can begin to come off the beaten track. You can move through the spine, perhaps moving around the wrists, loosening out the wrists. Just really getting into that body this evening or this morning. Good. Nice. And then when you're ready, coming back to center. We're going to ground our left hand into the mat. Inhale, lifting that right arm up, taking the gaze up towards that sky, and exhale, you're going to thread that through the needle, so threading it through, bringing the ear towards the mat. Good. Inhale, opening it up, and exhale, taking the arm through, ear to mat. Good. Starting to engage the core here. Inhale, lift that arm up, drawing the navel to spine, helping you feel centered. Exhale, take it through. We're going to take that one more time, drawing the inner thighs together as well to help you balance. Inhale up, open the chest space. Exhale, send it through. And we're going to pause here for a moment, opening out the shoulders, the chest. Good, keeping those hips stacked over the knees. Take one more round of breath here. And then pressing yourself up with your left hand back to center. And then grounding your right fingertips into the mat. We're going to inhale, opening up to the left. Lift that left arm up, take the gaze high. Exhale, thread it through, ear to mat. Good. Inhale, taking it up. Engage the navel to spine, helping you balance. Exhale, send it through. Squeezing those inner thighs together, helping you to balance here. Good. Inhale, lift it up. Open the heart space and exhale, flow through. Nice. Inhale, one more. Lifting it up, take the gaze high. And exhale, sending that arm through. Left ear to mat, and we're going to pause here for a moment. Taking a few rounds of breath. Opening through the shoulders and heart space. Good. Hips over knees. Nice. Taking one more round of breath. And on your next exhale, pressing the right fingertips into the floor to press yourself up, coming back to your tabletop. Good. And then just bring your hips back to sit on your heels. If this is accessible to you, if not, you can swing your legs around and just sit cross-legged. We're just going to take a few wrist rotations, just loosening out the wrists. Good. And then taking the hands out in front of you, just stretching through the wrists, flexing those hands. Good, and then point the fingers down. And up, flex, and down. Inhale, flex. Exhale, down. Inhale, flex. Good, exhale, down. And release that out. Good. And we're just going to play around with a little inversion here. So I'd like you to just sit facing your wall, so bring yourself up against a wall, I forgot to say that. Get yourself a nice empty space of wall here, and if you need to pause the video to do that, then go ahead. So we're going to bring yourselves up facing your wall, bringing your feet up against the wall, And then hands down by your sides. And this is just to measure it out. Okay, so you want to measure the length of your legs, feet up against the wall, sitting nice and upright like a dandasana, a stick pose, hands by your side. Once you've measured that out, keeping your hands where they are and just flipping over, so you keep an eye on where that space is that you've marked out. Good. And then you're going to come back to your tabletop here, putting your hands where you marked it out. And you're going to really think about grounding all 10 fingertips into the mat. Grip those fingertips as if you're trying to lift the mat up off of the ground. Good. Soften the elbows and just think about rotating the inner arms. Good. So we're getting this good grounding position here. Think about expanding across the top of the back. Good. And then once you feel like you've got a good engaging here, you're going to lift up onto the toes. So lift the hips up as if you're coming to a downward dog. Good. Just pausing here, taking a little downward dog, melting your chest through. And then you're going to shift your weight over the hands and crawling the feet up against the wall. And you can watch this first time if you want to, before having a go. Lifting your feet up onto the wall. Good. And then you're going to bring your feet down to hip height. So we're going to create a real right angle here. And you really want to make sure your hands are directly under your hips. Really, that's really good. And you can just take your feet down a tiny bit more just to get that right angle. Nice. And you can play around with this. So you might want to pause here, and you might want to bend the knees, you might want to come down, you might want to go back up, and you can just play around, moving between this pose and a down dog. If you do want to go back up, you can also play around with lifting one leg off at a time, or you can just pause there in the right angle. And when you get to that right angle, really think about squeezing that navel in. Yeah, really good. So we want to get this nice straight back. And if you don't engage the core, your back tends to banana, but really thinking about pulling that navel into the spine. Yeah, really nice. Press all 10 fingertips into the floor. Soften the elbows. Good. And this is working towards our handstand. So this is a really good inversion practice, strengthening the arms and the shoulders. It's helping us to learn the alignments of pulling in and engaging the navel towards the spine so that we're not arching that back. And you can just play around with this in your own time. So take this exercise that we've given you here today, play around with it. Like I said, you might want to play around with lifting one leg off at a time, depending on how you're feeling today. You might want to give this a go today, you might want to give this a go again every morning, every evening, whatever it feels good for you. How was that? Does it feel good? Good, yeah. So play around with your inversions. It's a really nice way of getting fresh oxygenated blood to the brain. So it's a really nice way to start your day, perhaps, get you energized for the day, or at the end of the day when you're feeling tired and you need re-energizing. Good. Well, thank you so much for joining this 10 by 10 challenge. This is, like I said, our last video of June. So thank you so much if you've been joining, and well done for making it to the end of the challenge. So thank you so much. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell. Namaste. Namaste.